Okay, good. All right. We have a little video to show you before we start the meeting. One of our members sent it to us, and we really like it. It's got a positive, upbeat ending. So we're going to show you that first before we start the meeting.
This land is your land, if you can buy it, but it's expensive. Go ahead and try it. The public lands are a different story. For mining and for drilling, they are free. I saw our young men in war and conflict, killing and dying in wars for which they never realized they had a life too. Thank God the right with them would keep us free. I watched Monsanto poison the wheat fields. The bread of life won't be what that wheat yields. Death and disease now, their poison spreading. This is not the way that it should be. I saw a conman in high station, a dreaded symbol of a dying nation, on massive action from grassroots level.
I could stand in the middle of the day and shoot somebody, and I wouldn't lose any homes, okay?
Okay, we're so glad you're here. Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate everybody's presence here. I want to introduce, we have a candidate here. Where is she? There she is. Sharon, stand up. Sharon is running for city council in the city of Georgetown. She's giving us a choice. In Georgetown, a lot of times we don't have choices. And I think I saw, where is he? Where's Jay? Jay, stand up. Jay is running for mayor for the city of Georgetown. He's also giving us a choice. And like I said, in Georgetown, we don't often have choices. So thank you. Thank you so much, Jay, and I'm Sharon. Is anybody, any other candidates here? Okay. All right. We have today two special speakers that we've invited, and they're so happy they have accepted. We've got Marvin Neal from the NAACP and Vincent Davis from the Pawleys Island Civic Club. And first, we're going to have Marvin come up here and just give you maybe let you know what it is they do at the NAACP. Come on up, Marvin. Don't be shy.
I didn't expect to be on center stage today. But good evening.
Good evening.
What do I do? I was reading your sign, and when I first came in, where's Bobby?
Right.
When I first came in, I remember Bobby from a while back and stuff. We were marching together, something.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
we were marching together. Just injustice stuff. But first, I'm going to introduce who I am. Tell you a little bit about me. I'm a retired military officer. Chief Warrant Officer, U.S. Army, 21 years. Also retired from Santee Cooper, 26 years, environmental chemistry. When I saw the movie that you just showed, the clip there, it brought back a lot of memories of who we were at one time and what we fought for. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for me and you. And I was thinking about indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. When I saw the indivisible, that really inspired me to come and speak. And then I saw Bobby Jones, I said, yeah, I need to go and speak at this occasion, because I know who she is, and she know who I am. And there's something about the human race that I value so much, because no one could do what God had done. Made us so perfect and made us so smart and diverse, and made us that person that we are, that made this world such a wonderful place where everyone has something to offer. And I'm leading into what I do, but I think I need to say that. I serve with the diverse unit. How many soldiers we have? And I know we have a G3 in here. That's in retired Sergeant Jerry Harper, a great friend of mine. And we do a lot together. But it's so hard to feel. Sometimes I feel numb right now because of where we are in this nation. But I also feel we still have all the hope because we still have each other. And I think together we can make a stand again and make the change that is necessary to get this country back on track and move some ills out of the way and stuff that cause us to look like we are divided, but we're really not. I serve with a group of men and women that really gave their heart to this country. The average unit that I worked with, everywhere I went, I was in charge. When I walked through the door, I looked at people from a human standpoint, and I always asked the question, who's the youngest in the room and who's the oldest in the room? That was my marker, because I knew I had to take that one back home. That young man, I had to make sure that he was taken care of, because some parents send their young man to serve the United States Army. And the older one I always had to look at to continue to provide that wisdom and leadership in order to get them where they need to be, so we'll be a protected country, and they're protected first. But I wanted people to always know you're never too small to feel as important as those that sit in front of you, because I led from the bottom up. I started at the bottom, a private E1 in the United States Army, and I retired a Chief Warrant Officer 3 out of the United States Army in 21 years. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of being able to serve such a great country. This weekend, I had a young man that came from Africa, where we did some mission work. Uganda, one of the worst places I've seen, I thought, from a human standpoint, human rights standpoint. And I got there and I started feeling some kind of way, because how could people live like this? But after I saw the way they communicate with each other and connected with each other, I said, man, they're better off than I am. And I'm coming here with a pity party. They're looking at me like, in my worst days, I'm still better than you, because we still got love. We love each other. And they showed that the whole time I was there. They had no traffic lights. People driving all over the place. Everybody respecting each other. I mean, not one accident in 16 days. I said, how do they do that? He said, they respect each other. That was critical. You know, I saw one argument, and that was at the landfill, where they were living in the landfill. They were living in the landfill with hydrogen sulfide, you know, pouring out. And here I am, an environmental guy, looking at this. I said, man, you can't be out here like this, you know. And they said, we're fine. You know, it's just those things that when you get back to America, you ask yourself, what are you complaining about? We don't have any problems. We have some issues we have to deal with. So it tells me that we have work to do. When our lowest could find peace and happiness and love, when we think they're at their lowest, really they're at their high point. So we have to look at people out of one eye and ask the question, how do you feel? And I'm going to start right there, because I think where we are right now, we need to ask people, how do you feel? Because there's a hurt out there right now that each individual feels differently. There's a hurt from whites, black, Jews, Protestant, Catholics, it don't matter. We are hurting. Those that care is hurting. Those that don't care just don't care. And you can't fix that. Only God can do that. But I know one thing, those that care can unite. And even bring some of those over that think that they don't care. They just don't know what it looked like. They've been in shelter so long with 45 and 47. So our history started off the NAACP, and I just want to give you a brief history, because it was about that low point there where we were as black people coming out of Africa. And I did not know that Africans didn't even know what slavery is. When I went over there this time, they was looking at me like, what are you talking about? That's not a part of our history. I'm looking at it like, you must have lost your mind. We came from here. He said, no, you didn't. The history they get there was the British history. So I had to give him a lesson from history. When he came this time, took him down to the plantations and everything. Down in Clownsville where I live, I drive a golf cart down there. You know, it's so close to my house. But it tells you how far away we are, but yet we are still close, so close, and still don't know where we came from at times. So I have to give them that history. But in 1909, there were a group of interracial, it's an interracial group, because people talk about the NAACP all the time, and that must be just for black people. So wow. I thought that too before I joined. But there were some activists. One of them name was Ida B. Wells. The other one was Mary Overton White. The other one was William English Wallings. And in 1908, and W.B. Du Bois were the first president. But in 1908, there was a race ride in Illinois, in Springfield. And it was a response to just violence that was happening to black people at the time. Homes was being burnt, just torn down. Every time you get a leg up, back down again. So, and I tell people all the time, we were born to fight for what we want. So I don't ever feel bad about that. But also others know that we needed help in that fight, like the Ida B. Wells and Mary Overton White. She was a white activist, and she was deeply involved in the women's suffrage of the NAACP, not just black women, white women too, because you all suffered just as hard as we did, because you didn't have a say-so. You had husbands, but you couldn't say nothing. It's like you didn't have any rights either. Okay, so I learned that and started understanding that more as I grow into the NAACP. And there was this other young man by the name of William English Walling. He was a white socialist. We formed along with Overton. They gathered and they started rallying for the support and protection of the things that was going on with black people. So then another Jewish guy came. His name was Henry Kosovic. He's a Jewish civil rights activist. He was part of the organizing group. So, and I'm saying this to tell you how connected we are from the beginning. Then it was Oswald Garrison Villett. He wrote The Call. It was a book, a document issued to Abraham Lincoln on his birthday in 1909. And Abraham Lincoln was the president that announced the formation of the NAACP. That's how it came about. So it was every race except us fighting for us before we even began to fight. So I just want to make that known to everyone that's here. So when you hear NAACP, that's us. Everybody sitting in this room. Built by you for us. And I want to get that out. So it's nothing like moving forward without knowing your history, something that has been tampered with here in America over the past year.
Yeah.
And I know you all know that. So tonight I said we, along with our partners, League of Women Voters, Divine Nine, PFLAG, LDF, Urban League, and all of us in this room that cares. We advocate, we agitate, we legislate for civil rights in America, for those that's underserved. It used to be just for colored people. No, it's for underserved. And that amplified so much after the moratorium. And I think we have a housing person here. After the moratorium was lifted, after COVID-19, and how many people were left pretty much homeless. In Georgetown, we served right at 250 some families, helped them save their households, gave them funding. We spent right at $2.3 million in Georgetown. People that was losing their homes. And it wasn't we didn't look at a skin tone walking through that door. We looked at a human being walking through that door that was about to lose their home after the moratorium was lifted. I mean, thousands of dollars walking through the courtroom. And Sharon played a major role in that. She was actually the lead advocate for that project and stuff in Georgetown. So when you start talking about housing, her hair starts standing up on her head. So I wanted to say that because they didn't walk through and say, I'm white, I need help. They didn't walk through and say, I'm black, I need help. All we know that they needed help. And that was critical to us. And everyone walked away with help. I don't think of anyone that we did not serve. We had to hand carry them through the courtrooms in Georgetown, which we was not supposed to, but we did anyhow. But something great came out of that also. We filed a lawsuit because we didn't have a right to act as attorneys. You know, we were just, you heard of the junkyard preachers, we just junkyard attorneys. And we were acting, and the state president was telling me, y'all can't do that. And I said, yes, ma'am, but we still went and done that. I wasn't going to ask forgiveness, permission to help somebody. I'll ask for forgiveness afterwards, but we weren't going to let someone walk through that door and lose their homes. You know, we had some backdoor judges too, that we was walking through the back door and said, hey, you can't do that. And they were saying, I understand, but just don't come in front of me. I said, well, that's fine too. We won't come in front of you, but we don't let you know who's coming. So we had to work through the clerks, find another way. That was our underground railroad. I can't talk to the judge, but I can talk to his clerk. And they know who was coming, the impact. Because the impact of that was, when a family got displaced during that crisis, the children got displaced also. They had to change schools and everything else in Georgetown, change the location. I mean, baggage is sitting on the street, you know, the owners of the rental property telling them, you have to go. A lot of them, they stepped out of their homes, then they call. And they call, no, you go back into your home. You have a right to stay there until you're adjudicated in court. So that led to a lawsuit with the South Carolina Attorney General, the state of South Carolina, Georgetown, NAACP. We filed a lawsuit to the courts, U.S. South Carolina Supreme Court, and we won. What came out of that is that now we could train ordinary people like me, give us some sense this time, and teach us how to deal with that and give us the rights to deal with that to a certain degree. So that's part of some of the work that we're doing here, that we have done in Georgetown. The same thing with the COVID-19 crisis. When the hospital, what's his name? How could I forget him? He's a pilot also, he's a doctor, Dr. Harmon, we reached out to. Well, he reached out to me. And DHEC reached out to us. And what's the name of the organization in Myrtle Beach? But we connected with all the organizations because they could not get into the underserved community for vaccination. They could not even reach them because of the conditions, from landlines to Wi-Fi. They just couldn't reach them. So we have to go back into those communities, handing out flyers, mail outs. John DeRay knows, she was out there beating the grounds too, mail outs and everything else. Club 142, I mean, huge organization that really wrapped their arms around us, and we wrapped our arms around them with Karen Yannigan and those. Just did some great work together that really got into those communities and pushed those people out, get the information out, set up sites right at the Howard Center and other areas, right in the black and underserved communities, so they could get that vaccination. That was critical. That's just some of the advocacy that we do and stuff. And during that, the Hispanic population, they were hiding. They were afraid to go in anywhere to get the vaccine. So we had to reach out and make sure we had someone on site that they could connect to go through the back door. I had all the names and stuff. We sent it to this individual. She said, well, just tell them come through the back door and we give them their vaccination. But it takes everybody to make this world, America, this human rights, a right. And that's critical. So those are just some of the work that we have done. How much time I got left?
A minute or two.
Minute or two? I'll take the 2.
Okay.
But some of our challenges today and stuff, and briefly, we are dealing with a lot of issues, black and white. I've had a white family call from a black mayorship and say, well, who do we call when someone discriminates against us? I said, well, I guess if you're underserved, you got to call me. She said, well, we got a problem. And I called him, and we fixed the problem. But the thing is, you can't let people go away hurting and say they have a problem. That's where I am in the NAACP, not just in Georgetown, that's national. You can't let people go away hurting. A lot of people say, man, y'all marching, y'all making noise and tearing people down and stuff. No, we tear down gorillas, bottom line. We don't tear people down, we tear gorillas down. We tear down the bullies. We tear down those that don't hear ordinary people. That's what we're there for. And I don't mind doing that, because I love to fight. I'm born to fight. You know, but we don't tear people down. We treat people fairly, and we expect everybody to be treated fairly. That's what we are all about. And just looking at the situation here in Georgetown with the underserved, we have had over 300 women in power since January, and supervision and directors positions that have lost their job. in the United States of America. Just women. Just women, 300, because of a bully. In Georgetown, we filed 4 lawsuits right here in Georgetown for the same reason. Right here in Georgetown, just recently. 2 in mediation, 1 called me this morning. But that is the challenges that we have here in Georgetown, the United States of America. So if anybody sitting in this room, I know a lot of the faces and stuff. I see you all the time back and forth. And y'all see me and you say, hey, Marvin. Sometimes I don't know your name, but I say, hey. The work is necessary. I think together we could do it all. We're going to get on the ground in Georgetown. We're going to fight for every vote for the underserved and those that are disenfranchised. You can reach out to me. My number is ready, available. John. Doreen, stand up, John. This is my first vice president of the NAACP. She does an awesome work. Representative Gooding, she is the branch secretary. You got Sharon, and you have Liz sitting here. Vincent. I don't know who all in there is members, but we have plenty of members just sporadically throughout the community every day and stuff that just come back and talk about things. But that's how we break ground. I see the young lady, I forgot her name, League of Women Voters and stuff right there. Rachel.
Yeah, Karen.
Karen. Just great people that we connect with and work with. So if you ever see me around and you think there's a problem that you need to deal with, and you just don't feel like shaking that bush or it's gonna really put you at risk, just shake me and say, let's find some way to deal with this. Okay? Thank you for your time.
Okay. That was wonderful, Marvin. It was wonderful to hear some history and to know that it's not, that it's a racially mixed group. That's good to know. Yeah.
It wasn't us, it was you. Y'all did it.
Oh, I don't know about that. But anyway, we have Vincent here now. Vincent Davis is from the Pawleys Island Civic Club, and he's also a very good cook, I found out. Come on up, Vincent. Thank you.
Thank you. Now that was a hard task to follow. Mr. Marvin Neal, great friend of mine. I'd like to start off by saying good evening. Good evening, everybody. And for those who may not know me, my name is Vincent Davis, and I'm the president of the Pawleys Island Civic Club, as well as the first vice chair of the Democrat Party in Georgetown County. And I love the opportunities when we can come together and have open communications of one another. It's so important. We know there's a lot of things that's going on around us right now. A lot of different things, a lot of different issues. And some of it is used to divide us. But as I stand here and represent the Pawleys Island Civic Club, I look to bring us together. So we can sit down and come with open communication with one another on how to move Georgetown County forward for a prosperous financial goal. We know that there's been a lot of issues. We've lost some economic struggles, losing some great jobs as far as the paper mill, the steel mill, who provided great source of incomes for families who made a great living for generations and generations. We have lost those. And we have leaders who will stand in position and rather fight with one another and then would come with an open plan on how to move us forward financially. So as I stand here today, I would look to at least partner up with all of us in this room and even outside the walls to come together on making this successful for everybody that lives in Georgetown County. And how do you do that? So I'm going to try to present two things this afternoon, because there's always going to be problems. There's always going to be issues that some of us out of our controls. But if we can at least come up with one or two solutions to our problems, that'll help us move forward. So I want to present the first thing for us is entrepreneurship. As we continue to look to bring suitable jobs to Georgetown County, right now what we can do is start entrepreneurship in our communities. And for those who have great resources and are able to provide for the county that doesn't have great resources, the Civic Club will always be a vessel to reach the ones that don't have. That's what we live. Our mission statement is to enrich the quality of life of individual and community through various programs and activities. So we have to be able to tap into the resources that are provided to us from people who are strong enough with the resources. Now we have some people who, right here, listen, the Walkable Deck have done well for ourselves. So well that we are able to pay 85% of the taxes for Georgetown County. 85% comes from the Walkable Deck. But we have some groups, let's just say one group, who are, in my opinion, being a little selfish because we've done so well. So they're ready to pull away, to incorporate. I know you've been hearing that around here. And leave our fellow neighbors to fend for themselves. Well, I don't think that's a good way to go. We've done great, and we're able to send our daughters, our sons off to college, and that's good. But in order to maintain that, we have to continue to do well at home to be able to pay for that. So, what we like to do, entrepreneurship was the first one that I introduced that may help us move forward financially. The second thing that I like to introduce, besides entrepreneurship, is the resources that I've asked that if you have strong resources, please share with communities who does not. Because once we are able to share with one another, then we all can be strong as we move this community forward. And we have to come together to move this community forward because we are facing some strong, hard times, losing some strong jobs in this industry world. And as we continue to move forward to create jobs. So, I came here and I thought about what I was going to say. And I could have been one of the stigma and be mad about what's going on in Georgetown, what's going on in Paulie's. But I said, Vincent, we need to think on a different route. Let's not dwell on that. Let's dwell on how we're going to come together because we all live here in Walkable and in Georgetown. It's a Georgetown County as a whole on how to move this thing forward because we have to be able to come to this table together, put our thoughts together, our ideas together to move us forward for a prosperous financial future. That helps everybody. And when everybody wins, we all win. And we have to have that as a mindset. So that's my brother Marvin Neal. He gave a history of the NAACP and what he does. The Civic Club has been around since 1972. They were started in order to move minority communities throughout the community because they had nobody to stand up for them or even stand up for their rights. So I was fortunate enough to be elected as the president 5 years ago. And with that, I got on the ground running because I had my own objectives, what I wanted to accomplish. So I had to take a minute back because believe it or not, my wife always keeps me grounded. And as much as they put away I go and places I enter, and doors I enter into, I'm still a husband and father at home. And they don't really even care. They still want me to cook, they still want me to wash the dishes, take kids to school. So, I'm just dad at the house. But I started bringing my youngest son, I have 4 kids. I started bringing my youngest son with me to a lot of events. Some people say, well, you always got your son with you. I said, because we have to start them young on what it's like to be a servant for a community of all. Of all. So instead of him wondering what dad is doing and why is dad not home a lot, I wanted him to understand what my mission was and why I had to go to help other people. And he's like, something, well, Dad, we need help. I said, well, son, your blessing will come once you complete the task. You have a task ahead of you. And I never, growing up, I never thought that I would be the president of such a powerful organization. That was not even in my cards. But I always knew, and I grew up in Pawleys Island, mostly my whole life, generations of my family that lived here. So I came through the ringer. I came through the wash. And they put me in the dry as well. And I saw the changes. And I saw the changes that affected a person, just a human being, how you're going to live in Pawleys Island. So I stood against Incorporate. My organization has now voted to stand against Incorporate because we have so much motion moving with county right now to achieve things. I mean, some simple things just as sidewalks that are safety for the community, for the growth that this community is doing, that we do not even have in our community. But we have motions to get these things planted on our soil and drainage. I don't know, I know if you lived here, if you've been through a storm, you've seen the floods. So our drainage was damaged real bad, was very flawed. So we started going to county council. We started going to planning commission. And we wanted these things have attention to. And not just have it on the bottom of the list, but what you wanted you to bring us to the top of the list. Because we understand development has to happen. It has to happen. In order for us to survive in the future, we have to have development. But we want it to be done where it's not killing us. And it's gotta be equal. Right now we see 4 or 5 developments in Pawleys Island right now, and these are in the community that I live in. How many of you think that teachers, lawyers, doctors, well, we shouldn't say doctors, well, teachers, and we have police officers, and just regular old working people like me can afford $500,000 homes? And I think the lowest one that I've seen, that one sits right across the street from my house, and they're asking $300,000 for it. So I sat down with our county council, Stella McCardle, and I said, Stella, the Civic Club know that there's going to be development, but we don't want to see all of them out of price range. We need affordable homes where we can achieve the American dream too. It's so important to enrich the lives of individuals. And now you have it where we got the crime rate that's going up high by young people. Young people, 15 years old. And they range from 15 to 18 that are committing heinous crimes that's going to destroy their lives for the rest of their life. The shooting in Georgetown, all of these kids are young. But we know once finances goes down, our economy goes down, crime rate goes up. That's nothing new. That's normal. But the second thing that I think that can help us financially is trade programs. Trade. And yeah, you can say Vincent, Georgetown Tech offers trade programs right now. But we need a unique trade program. We need a program where we don't have to go to a college course or have a college education for the kids who are right here in our community, who will not even go to college, who doesn't even care about college. So then you wonder how to reach them. So we have to have something unique. So we want to present something where you can have a 6-month course. You can teach a child electronics, plumbing, restaurant, become a chef. You give them a stepping foot to attain that job. And once they attain that job, they don't just attain the job for themselves, but they also become a real taxpayer that will affect our economy locally, that will help build this economy because it's been destroyed. Even if you have a lot of money, you have a lot of resources, you're still gonna feel that because you're in the community that these same guys are in. So these things are important. These are the two most important things that I wanted to speak about tonight. And I'd like to thank Ms. Barber, because she was the one who reached out to us, me and Marvin Neal, to come speak tonight. And if I'm over my 15 minutes, I apologize.
No, you're right, you're right on time.
But if I'm under my 15 minutes, I like to rest the rest of my time. And thank you. I hope I proved my point tonight. Have a good day.
Thank you, Vincent, thank you, that's wonderful to hear about the, Pawleys Island Civic Club. I never knew about it until I met you. So, we have, some members that are gonna come forward. Can Richard Austin come up?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. He's been, communicating with our statewide indivisible groups. And you can maybe tell us a little bit about what you've been doing?
Yeah, glad to.
Thank you.
You know, there's an old saying that's very easy to break a stick, but very difficult to break a bundle of sticks. I don't know how many people in the room know it, but there are 15 indivisible groups in the state.
Wow.
Some are very small. There's one that has 800 members. We have decided that it's necessary to get together and cooperate. We had our first call last week. It's going to be something that's going to be going on very often, hopefully, particularly on issues of state importance. You know, things that are happening in the State House, things of that sort, where it's not really the indivisible national, but rather the different indivisible groups in the state who have an interest in what's going on. In fact, I don't know if anyone here is a Clemson graduate, but if you are, could you see me after the meeting, because there's an effort being made right now by the indivisible group in Clemson to get together, because some of the professors in Clemson have been disciplined for what they've said about Charlie Kirk. And they're looking for alumni to reach out to the board of trustees and the administration on their behalf. There's also an indivisible group just up the road in Conway. We're going to get together with them because obviously Georgetown and Warren counties are right together, and there are issues that just impact the two of us. And we're getting together in the next week, begin to interface with them and seeing how we both can feed off each other and build support. So that's really where we're standing right now.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate Richard, because after the meeting where the indivisible upstate came here, he sent me an email and volunteered to be the person to contact everybody, and that's a big help. And now he's going to meet, he personally made plans to meet with the leader of the Coastal Indivisible Group, and so sure I do appreciate it. Thank you. I also have another big helper here, Eric Stats. Can you come forward? He's been helping with the bus trip. He's doing all the logistics. All I have to do is send him the information and he makes a spreadsheet. So, and the bus trip is October 18th. And I wanted to show you a sign one of our members made. Really good sign.
I got a big enough voice, I don't need that. That was from a prayer life. So, October 18th, we got 2 pickup spots. One's at the Lowe's in Pawleys Island. We got another one in Myrtle Beach. A lot of the times were put out was 8:30 and 9:30. They're actually going to move to the left because the time distance of getting from Pawleys Island to Myrtle Beach was about an hour. So the time was put out is, was 8:30, that's when the bus is gonna leave. So you gotta be there earlier. It's probably gonna shift a little bit earlier than that, because we got 37 people signed up right now. We got about 29. Anybody try to move 29 people in 15 minutes? Ain't gonna happen. So we need you there early, because I gotta muster people, sorry, military term, in attendance, make sure everybody's there. We're gonna pass out packets as soon as we get the information of what the route was, where everybody's gonna be, where the bus is gonna be, what time we need to be back. And you'll have my cell phone number and Barbie's cell phone number. So my job is to make sure everybody gets on the bus, everybody gets off the bus, and everybody gets back on the bus, and everybody gets off the bus. And we don't leave anybody anywhere, nobody has any problems, and that's all that stuff. So we need you there early. We'll put the new times out as soon as I do the time distance on that.
Yeah.
That's probably gonna change about 3, 4, 5 different times.
That's okay.
But just,
We'll be in close touch with emails.
Yeah.
We'll keep it,
yeah,
I'll keep you posted.
just
Yeah.
everybody realize that. The bottom line is from Myrtle Beach, we gotta leave at 9:30, because it's a 3-hour drive. That gives us a half-hour slot. There's a ball game and a state fair tomorrow. So my concern is traffic. So that's why it's gonna go, till that to go earlier. So we can get moving. There will be a bathroom on the bus. We're not gonna make stops, so that's good. Make sure you bring your lunch, and make sure you bring a snack on the way back. So, and water.
And we still have room on the bus, so,
Right.
you're still
We
time
can
to
get a
sign
big
up.
bus.
We got the big bus now.
Yeah, we got 37, which is bigger than.
Yeah,
we
so
got
now
more,
we're
so,
moving into the big bus, yeah.
If you sign up and have not paid yet, pay the lady. If you have, economic concerns, see the lady, we can resolve that one too. So that's the thing, bring your hat, make sure you have all the safe, because my concern is with the march, I don't want anybody to get hurt, anybody those things, so we don't work on that. And if anybody has any issues, you'll know where the bus is, just go back to the bus. That's the big, if you have things, go back to the bus. And contact us, so we know where you're at. Anybody got any questions?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
will we have to walk very far from the bus to get to?
I do not know that answer yet. They haven't told us where the bus is gonna be parked. This is
As
assumption.
soon as we know, we'll let
Yeah, I'm gonna
you
tell
know.
you, this is an assumption. I'm hoping we can have drop-off point, everybody get off, bus goes park somebody, and then we can.
Right, then the bus comes back to get us, yeah, yeah.
So that's my hope, but I don't know yet.
How many slots do you have open?
Well, if we have more than that, we can get another bus, but I think
Yeah,
55.
yeah. We have, if you said 37, whatever 55 minus 37 is, that's what it is.
Okay.
We have plenty of slots.
Okay.
It's, yeah, $45 per.
Yeah, it's $45, but see us if that's too much, let us know,
Yeah.
so, it's okay.
Okay, any questions? Okay.
Thank you, Eric. Okay. I wanted to, my email person wanted me to announce that some emails are being bounced back to us, so if you're not getting emails, see me afterwards, and we may have your email address wrong. Just like if you think you should be getting emails and you're not, just let me know, because we do send them out pretty often, so if you're not getting emails, it's probably bouncing back. We've got some more postcards for democracy to send out. Nancy, my sister, will, you can come see her. She's right. Stand up, Nancy. Just 4 packets, but it's got everything you need in it. The postcards, the addresses, and the stamps, and they need to be mailed by October 1st. These are,
Email you back.
oh yeah.
That's somebody
Huh?
Just keep talking.
Oh, okay. Okay. And also, my daughter contacted me today. She has a friend who is a Post and Courier reporter, and this reporter wants to do a feature on someone that maybe was not a voter in the past, but has become politically active recently, maybe because of circumstances. So if you know of anybody that was never active before, was not a voter, but has suddenly become very interested and very active, see me afterwards and I'll tell her. You might be interviewed, or they might be interviewed. Okay, our next meeting is October 27th, it's on a Monday, that's a little different, it's on, I'm sorry, it conflicts with, another meeting. We couldn't get it on Tuesday, we couldn't get the room on Tuesday. And we're gonna have a professor from Francis Marion come and speak to us about the Constitution. So any questions you have about the Constitution, come on the 27th, and he will answer them. And then on November 15th, it's a Saturday at 3 o'clock, we're gonna have a Veterans Day sing-along. And we're just gonna sing fun patriotic songs and get together. And then in December, we'll have a social event. Probably, well, I don't know yet where, but I'll let you know. We have somebody, I want, Flossie to come up, and she has an announcement.
We brought Her Voice, a young organization.
You need to use the mic.
I have to use the mic.
That's okay.
They holler at me at every meeting we have, because I do this, and I'm going to do this. We're a young organization that just started. We have about 180 women. We are put to shame by what you guys are doing. Thank you very much for your public service and the service that you give. We are basically at this point working to get us out of where we are in our nation. So our real leader here, Ellen, who is here, and Donna and Ian, but Ellen, will probably be speaking on Sunday, we hope, at the anti-abortion hearing against the Complete Abortion Act. Bill 323, that is awful. Will kill women, will traumatize women, will take control from women completely. And we have brought in the back here some petitions for you to sign. We also have, there's a place online, we've had a lot of people signing online. You can write emails, we've been busy writing emails, and we've been busy making phone calls to the important people that are on those committees to try to get them to not even move forward at all with that. We have been having people come in and trying to educate our group of women of who they can vote for. We've had Ren come in about reproductive rights for women, with getting people educated to go out and fight. So, signing the petition, but we bought these. And this is a new little thing that's happening that I think is going viral. It's all over Blue Sky, it's all over all, that, of all people, is it L. Jean Carroll? E. Jean. Started as a protest. It's the paperclip protest. It started in Norway during World War II. It was the Norwegian teachers and students, they said, wore these to show their resistance to the Nazis. They said it was a way, they felt, of binding people together the way the paperclip binds. We have come up with, don't have to fight. You just wear it wherever you wear it. And if somebody asks you, we were saying, now what do we say? So we said, well, for me, this stands for democracy, it stands for free speech, and it stands for women's rights. If people want to have a conversation that's civil about it based on what that is on my lapel, I'm fine with that. But I also don't wear it and just go out in public without it having being that sign, which I'm also proud to carry, but would get a lot of feedback real quick. But if we had millions of us wearing these and millions of us out carrying those, we might do something about the big bully. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll have these in the back if you'd like to pick one up.
Thank you so much, Flossie. So wonderful to meet so many people. Flossie called me the other day on the phone and got to speak to her then. That is all I have unless somebody has an announcement they want to make.
I just have a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Can we protest on 17? It was done 2 months ago, and it was the most invigorating, exciting thing that happened in a while.
Anybody is welcome to do that, but you need to contact the police, the sheriff's department. Yeah, and it's not hard to do. I even have the guy's name if you want it, because I planned that last protest. And it was easy as pie, and all the sheriffs are there for you, and you can walk up and down. I won't be there. I'll be in Columbia. But I think that people want a local thing, and I think I would love for somebody to plan a local thing, because a lot of people can't go to Columbia. They just can't. So see me afterwards if you want to do that. Yeah, go ahead, Lynn.
Barbie, do you know whether Sue is still planning a No Kings protest in Myrtle Beach on that same day?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it. No, 50-51 is not gonna do anything. They want to do, Columbia.
Yeah, there's nothing listed, there's one in Charleston, there's two in Beaufort,
Okay.
but there's nothing for release on 50/50 website.
Okay, all right, that's what I wanted to know.
For no ads, no kings. Right now, that could change tomorrow.
Another organizations that have been doing most of them in shape and art.
That's 50-51. And they don't, 50-51 doesn't want to do one in Myrtle Beach because they want people to go to Columbia with there's no reason somebody else can't do it. It's just that 50-51 doesn't want to do it. And we can't do it ourselves because we're going to, we're going to Columbia. But that doesn't mean a regular person, anybody can do it. It's easy. Does anybody else have any questions? Yeah, Joan?
Not a question, I was just gonna say that if you're interested in the people that spoke today, their organization, you can become a member very easily, and it's very, it's $30 to join the NAACP, and how much for? $120 a year. $120 a year for the Civic Club. So if anyone's interested, you can become members.
Oh, wonderful, that's good to know, thank you, great. Okay, well, when we break down the room, just leave the 5 groups, let's see, 5 chairs on each side, 5 by 5, 50 chairs total. So if you don't have to do, if anybody wants to help with the chairs, you don't have to do anything with the first 5 rows. Yeah, Ilka?
Can Flossie tell us what email we can contact you with by?
Oh, believe it or not, our fearless leader is so, give me some cards.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Okay, well, thank you so much, everybody, for coming.